Once again, you are welcome to SolutionPlus Radio, and your regular host. My name is Olla Oluwafemi. People call me IamBezaleel, and you can also connect with me on Twitter. My Twitter handle is TWHITE, TWERGYWHITE. That's my Twitter handle, and you can also use SolutionPlus as your hashtag so that I can easily get to read your comment. And I have with me today Mr. Most of the time I call him Doctor, because at the depth at which he normally discusses issues that borders around politics and economy used to amaze me. So I have with me today on our program today, I have Mr. Adeleke Oluwadamilare Ishola. We'll be analyzing, dissecting. He likes using all those big words. So, and I would like to welcome him on the program today. Welcome to the program, Mr. Oluwadamilare. I want you to introduce yourself, what you do, so that people will know at least a bit about you.
Once again, listeners, I want to appreciate you for staying with us, especially on this channel and on this particular medium. Ishola Oluwadamilare Adeleke is my name. Once again, I'm a researcher. I'm a political scientist, actually, by discipline, and I'm also a writer, and of course, I'm a public analyst as well. So thank you for staying with us. Today, I know today is going to be a wonderful and exciting day for everybody that loves to listen to youth, the perspective of youth, what youth stands for, and nation building. On that note, I would like to quickly introduce the topic that we are going to be discussing today. But before then, we are going on commercial break, and when I come back, I will introduce the topic that we shall be discussing today. Thank you very much. Yeah, welcome back once again. Welcome to the platform again, and this is SolutionPlus. And I still have with me my guest, Mr. Ishola. I will be calling him Mr. Ishola subsequently. And the topic we are going to discuss today is the role of youth in national economy of Nigeria. That's in the role of youth in national economy of Nigeria. And I think, let me start from the first question I want to ask him. I will be asking him just 2 questions, and I know he will do justice to some of these things once I ask the question. The first thing I want to ask him is the last time when we were discussing on this program, he was of the opinion that the elites in Nigeria has actually handicapped the youth in Nigeria in terms of contributing their quota to national economy of Nigeria. What's your view? We want to hear more from that one today. All right. Thank you very much. I really want to thank God for the opportunity to come out on this platform and especially express some of the issues that are affecting youth in the political development of Nigeria. And like you said earlier on, we actually want to consider the role of youth in the national development of this country. And let me begin by saying that generally, the youth are considered to be the foundation of every development, or any good country, at least that we can cite, in the recent world. Not even in the recent world, even from time immemorial, the youth have been major contributor to anything that we call development. And during in the society where you have a sort of a gerontocratic government, in other words, the government whereby the age are in position, we could not actually trace
so much of development, especially when we talk of innovation, to such society. And when we look at the dimension in which the world is going today, we see youth, at the forefront of leadership, and not only in politics alone. It cuts across different social aspects of life, from technology to science, medicals, what have you, and so on and so forth. And so when we talk about developed society today, nations that we can cite as reference, when we talk of development, we have youths at the background of this development. But unlike the situations
let me just pause you there. You said we have youth at the background. Are you saying they are not obvious? We can't see them at the front stage of the economy, or is that what you are saying? Are you encouraging that in Nigeria or what?
No, not at all. I think it's a choice of word.
Okay.
No. Maybe I meant to say backbone. Of this development.
Oh, yes.
No. We have them as backbone of this development. No, in other words, not only that, they perform leadership role alone. You see them up and doing, in active engagement, of what we call development. Now, of course, not really to take our time. We cannot understand why that is in many of these countries. For the first, for the first reason being that the youths, are in their agile age, the very effective part of life. Now, not only in terms of the strength, capacity, but even in terms of intelligence wise, in terms of mental action, they could do so many things. Within that age of life, they could undertake so many things. They have the required strength, the required innate resources to undertake whatsoever task, no matter how herculean the task may be. It is, permit me to say, a favorable side of life or part of life in human growth. Because by the time you are out of what we call a youth, it already means that you have spent or have lived most useful part of your life, and what remain after then will just be experience. So the youth is the active stage, is the stage where you dissipate energy, where you make pursuits to achieve a particular thing. So it is expected that good nations will make good usage of this set of people to achieve whatever they want to achieve.
At that point, I need to cut you and go for commercial break. Thank you. Okay, welcome back once again. The platform is still SolutionPlus, and my name is Olla Oluwafemi, popularly known as IamBezaleel, and I still have with me my analyst, and his name is Mr. Olla. And once again, I want to, like, the question that we have been working on. Now, I think he has done justice to a good part of that question, but I still want to emphasize, how has the elite actually handicapped Nigerian youth? We are talking about Nigeria here. So, how has the elite handicapped the youth in Nigeria? We have seen youth all over the world. In fact, we have several other organizations, countries around the world trying to raise our youth, like yearly, other fellowship, other programs trying to build our youth. But how has the elite in Nigeria actually handicapped Nigeria?
Thank you very much for the question. Well, I will try and highlight at least few very pronounced ways that we can see. Let me begin from education. Now, education is fundamental as far as youth and child development is concerned. Education, in fact, it is a fundamental human right. From the state of childhood till you become adolescent, and of course to a full-grown youth, the process of education is germane. But in Nigeria, we can see the way education has turned in this nation. Let me first say, when education is being attacked in any nation, it is the youth that will suffer for it, majorly. In Nigeria, for example, we know education in Nigeria is nothing to write home about. We first begin to look at the quality of education in terms of what is made available. In other words, the condition of learning, the provisions that are made for education. For example, what is the federal government budget on education? Every year, it is lower than lower than many developed states, developed societies.
Maybe I should help you. Okay. I think from 2014, 16 to 17, we have experienced a decline, a sharp decline. I think in 2015 we have like about 8% of the budget. Total budget was allocated to education. I think in 2016 it dropped to 7 point something. And I think now presently we have about 6 point something as our education allocation.
You can imagine that. Thank you very much for the statistical information. So we can see that even we are having a decline when what we have earlier on was not even enough. Now the thing is not even remaining in the same position. What we are rather having is decline in education. So we don't have good provision for education in terms of what is available, in terms of structures, in terms of facilities that is needed, and it also goes to human capacity. Human resources that are needed in this area. We don't have enough human resources. In fact, sometimes we don't even have people that are qualified to handle this. Apart from that, we also have issues of remuneration here and there, which oftentimes the schools, colleges, including universities, will be off for a very long time, and these youths, the people that suffer for this is the youth. Now, in a society where youths don't have good education, you see that they go to school, but whatever they are getting from school is below average. And so what the standard of youth that we are producing from our schools are lower than mediocrity level, and that stands an advantage for the Nigerian elite, who oftentimes would have sent their own word abroad, to foreign universities, and leaving many of the Nigerian youth, people who could not afford that, leaving them at the disadvantage. That is number one. Another one is on the area of employment. Now, employment is another way in which the youth in Nigeria are seriously being handicapped. And what do I mean by that? Or how should I explain? Number one, generally, anybody that does not have access to basic means of life can never in any way fight for anything, because the person will be preoccupied with satisfying the basic means of life. Somebody who has not eaten and somebody who does not have a place to lay his head cannot fight for anything. It will be easy for you to manipulate such person. If you look at what is going on Okay, a good example is we look at what is going on with some of these our elections, how people are being deceived with food, with some of those things, how people are made, to thumbprint for the right candidate. It's an issue of poverty. People that are involved, not only on all of them are old ones, many of these people they are young ones who are selling their future, just because of loaf of bread. Now, in Nigeria today, many youth, even those people who have gone to school, graduates and the rest of those things, mention them, cannot get a good employment. In fact, they don't even have, something tangible to sustain themselves. And in that kind of environment, in that kind of society, there is no way in which such people can come up with an idea, with innovations, with whatsoever meaningful contributions, because what they are preoccupied with is their own survival.
Yeah, I think at this point, I want to take you on this because you are on SolutionPlus team, and we actually discuss solutions to some of these problems. Now we have identified that Nigerian youth are they are playing second fiddle to the aged in Nigeria. So now we, as a SolutionPlus, we don't discuss anything in Nigeria on this platform than solution. For us, of course, there is no way you can shout a way forward without knowing your past. So we have discussed some of these problems, and in your own understanding, in your own view, what do you think that we can do in Nigeria to actually salvage the future of the youth, or to help youth to get out of this the handicapped situation that we have find ourselves?
Thank you very much. That's a very, very good question. We thank God, for the likes of many of these non-governmental organizations, that are rendering many help to cover up for what I call, government laxity. But despite that fact, I will still say that it is time that we ourselves need to rise up to put this government on their toes. We cannot continue to look at things the way they are going on. And one of the reasons why we are saying what we are saying now is actually to sensitize one another, to make us understand where we are presently, why many of these things are the way they are. Is simply because the elite are benefiting from it. Having that understanding, I think it is we ourselves that need to rise up to the occasion of making our government work, holding them responsible, by whatsoever means we can. It is time that we have to rise up to take our destiny in our own hands. Let us make them to make favorable policy in some of these areas that we have highlighted, in areas of education, in areas of employment, social security, and some of those things. It is high time that you should begin to look for leaders, people who could deliver along this area, people who could deliver along the area of empowerment. For Christ's sake, the youth has to be empowered. If the youth are empowered, then they will be able to function the way they are supposed to function.
Thank you, Mr. Oluwafemi. I want to ask a question, because in Nigeria we have experienced situations whereby youth are given the chance to actually perform. We have experienced it. They've given them chance before, and eventually you still find them, they do the same thing that others have done. How do we solve this kind of problem?
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you very much. It's like I was trying to explain earlier on. You see, you cannot expect to bring a good fruit from a bad tree. And one only injunction, said, if the foundation be destroyed, what can the righteous do? You cannot bring a good youth from a bad system. Youth that grew up, from bad value, from bad cultural and moral practices, that grow up from bad and poor educational system, youths that grow up from a survivor fighting environment. You cannot expect that person to deliver a noble cause when he's given the opportunity. As a matter of fact, another thing I supposed to mention when I was mentioning how the political elite has actually affected you is the kind of value they also pass across. The corruption, the endemic corruption in Nigeria has become a chain effect because the youth are looking at it. By the time a particular leader gets into position, gob all the money, put it in his pocket, you are passing a negative message across that when you get there, do the same thing. That is also the way the youth has been affected. They have been infiltrated with wrong mentality. Now politics is seen as a way of getting money, gobbing money, and satisfying your own lineage, your people, your kinsmen, rather than serving the people. These are part of it. So back to your question, we have youth that have been given opportunity, but they came from this bad and negative system. We have to change the system first, because we now begin to talk about youth. Of course, I like this magazine that is now going on, and of course, not magazine, it's a law that has become a policy now approved, by the federal government. That you should be given chance, not too young to run, and some of those things. Now, it is a little thing to say, okay, where will youth get money to vote and the rest of it. That one is not even so much of issues for me. But what I'm even looking at is our problem in this nation is not just because we don't have youth, in leadership position. Our problem is we don't even have the right set of youths on ground. Those are part of the issues we are having. So we have to first address the system, change the system to produce youth, that will be knowledgeable, that will be civilized enough, and of course, let me say good enough in terms of mental, and moral capacity, to lead this nation. Thank you.
Yeah, in fact, it's been a wonderful time having you on the program. So I really want to appreciate you for coming on the program today. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure.
And once again, to all of you that are listening, maybe you are listening to it live or you are listening to the post publication of this program, I want to say a big thank you for listening. This is SolutionPlus TV. All we do here is to discuss solution. Yes, of course, I've said it earlier on that we have to highlight some of the problems that we have, then we discuss possible solutions to them. You are also invited to SolutionPlus. If you have anything, if you have solutions to some of the problems facing us in the community in Nigeria, then you can come on the platform and discuss. Thank you very much. My name is Oluwafemi, and I'm popularly called IamBezaleel, and the platform is SolutionPlus TV. Thank you.